Hey, what's going on, Crash Out Version Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, a lot of people sent to me. We're going to talk about it. Ryan had some choice words for me. CoolTrainerRyan. Maybe you guys know of him. He has a YouTube channel sitting over there. Had some choice words for me last night on his live over there. It's on around the 4 hour, 40-ish minute area. Goes basically into like the end of it, like the last 10, 15 minutes. I think he gets off the topic, but that little time frame, he talks about several things. I get brought up in it. I'm not really the main focus of what is being talked about either. A lot of it's being directed towards Pat Flynn and Card Party. That's really the big points, that stuff. And that's how I even get roped into what he's talking about in the first place. Now, why is Ryan talking shit about me? To be fair, I understand where he's coming from. Do I really have any problem with him talking shit about me? No, not really. I did insult and actually criticize his best friend, Rev. I did do that. Something I did. If you're unfamiliar with that arc, around the beginning of the year in January, whenever Prismatic Evolution was floating around, right? People were opening it up. You know what was happening. The community was having a hard time getting product. There was stuff happening, fights happening in Costco, people fighting over 151. Basically, every single Pokemon product shot all the way up. The resale values for everything were crazy. People were just camping out in front of stores. And Prismatic Evolutions, getting it at MSRP was absolutely impossible to do, right? Well, it was still regular ops for a lot of the bigger content creators doing things, opening up product, opening up hundreds of packs. And my criticism of some of the bigger content creators, primarily Rev, was he was doing all this. He was doing content as normal. He's been doing the same content for years, okay? I understand that. I get that whole aspect of the matter. Like, it's the exact same. Well, he decided to come down from opening content and talk about all the woes and the things that were happening in the hobby and how we needed to wait and how, like, don't worry, guys, like, the Pokemon company's going to fix this and it's okay. We'll make it through all this stuff. Meanwhile, Rev was still doing the exact same thing, as well as other bigger content creators. In retrospect, I probably could have roped a few other people into it, honestly. That's probably something I would have did a little bit differently. However, my criticism still stands where he really wasn't doing anything different, and he wasn't standing with the community when it came to that. Like, it would have been a little bit better if he had actually came down and talked about that, basically talked about how terrible everything's were, and he put a pause on, like, opening some Pokemon cards. Maybe just hung out with the community for a little bit, and I said it was very out of touch. I didn't call Rev a bad man. I didn't say he was terrible for this community. I didn't say that he was destroying the hobby. I said he was extremely out of touch. And that's what I said. There's a whole video about that whole thing. It did very well. A lot of creators, big and small, shared criticisms with me about what I was saying, but a lot of them actually agreed with what I was saying too. They understood where I was coming from. It was very like, do as I say, not as I do. And that was my big thing with Rev. And Ryan didn't like that. He didn't like the whole thing. I think Rev actually took the criticism fairly well. I'm still not blocked or anything by that. But Ryan recently, as of late, has blocked me. And it was probably because I was poking the bear a little bit. I was doing stuff. I was making little jokes about Rev, saying like, oh, he looks like he's dead inside making content. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. His stuff's boring. Poking the bear with Ryan, talking about the Labubu trend. I was doing it a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But the big bad boy of Pokemon, I didn't think he was going to block me over that. Which case, threw up two stories actually, basically calling out the irony of like the man who can criticize Leonhardt nonstop and throw up the chubby bunny challenge and fuck that guy, fight back, and relentlessly say things about Leonhardt. Look, I'm no better. I've criticized Leonhardt too, okay? I've also given Leonhardt his props. I have. The man can do that. He can say all that stuff, but the second Rev gets a little bit of criticism thrown his way, the second Rev gets a little bit of like, I don't think this is like the way to, like, he just drops me like immediately, which is fine. I get it. He's allowed to do that. I insulted his best friend. I criticized his best friend. And honestly, if somebody did the same thing to Gonzo or Rock or Steven or, you know, Metri or like Starman, any of the critical hit boys that I hang out with, I'd probably act similarly. I'm very much like Ryan in that regard. I say what I say. I keep the same energy for everyone. That happened in the live. I'm not playing his live stream. Like, it's just, you can go watch it. Once again, I'll have the link in the description below. Go support Ryan. I'm not going to ask you to, like, go, like, support between different people. You want to support me? Cool. You want to support Ryan? Cool. You want to support us both? Cool. You want to support, like, everybody. You don't want to support either of us? Cool. It's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you. Basically, what happened in the live, I'll explain to you from the beginning. Someone asked if he was going to go to Card Party, in which case he said no, he's not going to Card Party because it's a bunch of fake bullshit. And, you know, like Deep Pocket Monsters, he's basically like just, he's using creators. He's building an actual event off the back of creators in order to make his event successful. He's only there to sell actual courses look up super fans, look up all that stuff. He's a businessman. He only wants to sell courses to people, and he only is using this to, like, he's using creators to build his event, right? That's his main criticism for the entire thing. But sure, whatever. He can have that criticism if he wants to. That's okay. He keeps going on that tangent. He keeps talking about it even more, basically making comparisons to like how he wasn't paid at Card Party. He did a lot for Card Party. And look, I'm not going to say the bigger creators did like absolutely nothing. I know they did. I know Rev. I know Ryan, I know Vault, I know, Chloe, I know Dean, I know Danny Phantom, Super Duper Dan. I know all of these people, Ando, Leonhardt, all these people did big things for Card Party, and their names were a big driving factor for why people were there. I get that. I completely understand. But, like, to say, like, people weren't going there for Pat either is kind of like a... It's kind of like a disingenuous little thing right there. There's a lot of people that want to go there for Pat. Ryan brings up the fact that Pat showed up during COVID and he's only doing this shit to make money and it's all just a fake scam thing. And I don't like call out Pat for anything. I only call out Rev. Rev's the only person that ever gets called out for anything. In which case, how I know my criticism about them being out of touch was spot on was this thing that Ryan said. Ryan said that I literally give Rev shit about a $ sound effect, like a dollar sound in his videos, but I don't call out Pat for using a slot machine sound effect for his PSA prices or something like that. And when that happened, I knew that I had made the right call and I was absolutely correct that these motherfuckers are out of touch. I knew I was correct because they think that like the thing is like money once again. They think that it's purely money is the only aspect of what it is. Not the whys, not the whats, not how things look to the rest of the community, not how the rest of the community views what's happening with stuff, not the struggles everybody else goes through, not fucking bigger creators still going like nothing has happened, not fucking like, look, I will give Rev his props on this aspect, okay? For Prismatic, I don't know about Journey Together or Destined Rivals. I think he said he was going to. He might have done those. But I know for Prismatic, he sold about 1,000 packs, I believe, or something like that for MSRP, or maybe a little cheaper than that, right? He sold those packs, and that was a very good thing he did for the community, okay? It was. I'm not going to take that away from him. I'm going to give him his props. Do I think Rev is a bad person for this hobby? No, absolutely not. I stand by that criticism, though, that everything that happened with that video in particular and that little arc he was going through where he was like, I'm with the community, guys, it was extremely out of touch because nothing he was doing stood with us at all. Like, a lot of people were actually going like, no, we're not buying this stuff. We're going to wait for MSRP. Meanwhile, fucking Rev's just ripping shit like nothing happened at all, coming down and lecturing us to be like, hey, make sure you guys wait for stuff to be cheaper. And it's like, yeah, no shit, Rev. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I get that. I'm not the one opening hundreds of packs on my videos. I get it, okay? It was just very out of touch. Which case, Ryan, like, his criticisms for, like, Pat and Card Party itself it's very odd to me, and that's kind of where this whole thing really, I wanted to talk about. I don't care what he has to say about me at all whatsoever. It's fine. It's okay. I can handle that stuff. I did think it's funny that he called me a short sack of shit. It's very funny that, like, a little bit before he was talking about, like, hey, don't worry about the haters. Be yourself. Be truly yourself. Don't worry about what anybody has to say. But then he, like, picks on, like, the one physical aspect about me that's like an easy thing to do. Look how short Opossum is. Look how short Nick is. It's just funny that like he's a short sack of shit, and it made me laugh a whole lot. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's so funny how like that whole thing, like, it was like literally almost like a minute apart from each other, and it just made me laugh. A lot of Ryan's criticisms with Card Party and Pat are very transactional. So he talks about Pat and how like expensive the tickets are for Card Party, them being $1,000, how the creators themselves are not getting paid, how people have to come down there, how there's no water bottles at all or anything like that. There's no water. Like, Ryan's not getting hydrated by Card Party or anything like that. He's a successful content creator at a convention and he can't get water. That's crazy. What's weird is I'm pretty sure the VIP area or the creator lounge had water for us in order to do stuff. They also had some level of snackage too, but you had to go in there to actually do it. Whether or not they actually went there, I don't know. I hung out in there in a little bit with Alex Ketchum and Gonzo and all that stuff. It was cool, but like I get it, I suppose. Like, water, like, he talks more about how the creators aren't getting paid. He talks more about how like he got a hotel room and that was really it. He shared it with Sean. A lot of the other creators didn't get hotel rooms. Basically, a lot of the creators are being used in order to make Pat's event a lot better. Sure, you can use that criticism, I suppose, but like, once again, I said, he brings up Collecticon and how Collecticon has waters for him, how they pay people to go to Collecticon. They offer payment. They give money. And it's like, okay, so more transactional shit for you. You like that because they're very transactional towards you. But your criticisms towards Pat are transactional against the community. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just very odd. It's a very weird thing. Like, he likes, it basically almost came off as, I like Collecticon because they pay people to go, they have water, they wipe my ass, they follow me, and they do this and that, and they, like, it's just really funny to me that that's the thing that he says when all of his criticisms against Pat are financial and transactionally driven. The other thing that he does that's like, this is Ryan, by the way, one of the other criticisms is like me in particular. He talks about how I'm a shill, which I find very funny. I don't have any affiliate links or anything in my bio. I have one link with Card Prison that I don't get any money from. I give all of that money to Rock Sandy. Like, I don't accept any of it. I'm like, no, anything we do with Card Prison, that is your money going back to your project. That is yours, and I truly believe that you will be successful with that. I don't want your money off of that. I just want to help you out any way I can. I worked with Brian with Pokey and E whenever Japanese booster boxes were affordable. So the Stellar Miracle era to a little bit in Terrestrial Festival when the booster boxes were still about like 50, 55 bucks each. I worked with Brian through that when things got a little bit too expensive. Me and Brian amicably, ended the partnership because things were going to get a little too pricey. It was going to hurt his business. It was going to be how I felt about people overpaying for booster box. It was okay, right? It wasn't a big deal.
I didn't get paid for. I didn't want any money for that. He actually gave me a little bit of product to open some Japanese booster box to make videos for. That's perfectly fine with me. I did not receive money from Brian at all. I didn't want any. Just helping me get some booster boxes more than enough, and that was a very pleasant experience working with him.
Other than that, I don't really have anything, but Ryan has PSA. He has graded guard. He has like the Squatch soap, which he has the Card Prison one too. That was cool. But like I'm the shill. Like, I'm the shill. I don't get any money or anything. You're the, like, I'm the shill. You're mad that Card Party doesn't pay people, but Card Collecticon does. They give you waters and they follow you around. They fucking like pat your ass and scratch your back or something. Like, Pat did nothing for you. You got a hotel room, big dog. None of us got a hotel room. None of us were actually, I don't know how true that stuff is. A couple other things get brought up. A couple other criticisms, like weird off-the-wall things that I'm not really going to touch on too much. Talking about how Brit Day Cake will ban people if like people are asking for autographs or something like that from DPM, which, I mean, that's kind of funny if that happens. I don't agree with that at all. I don't know if that actually happens or not. But him bringing up Brit Day Cake, I thought was kind of funny. It's considering he dropped me for criticizing Rev for saying he's out of touch. But whenever, Brit Day Cake had the shit being said about her by one of his mods that was really disgusting, he didn't drop that guy at all. He's like, you know what? That's fine. It's cool. I'm just going to leave that as it be. But he drops me for light criticism against Rev. And I blame Rev for everything. Everything is Rev. I don't blame Rev for everything. I don't. And if it was the money sound effect that was truly the problem, which out of touch, man, truly out of touch, I would be mad at everybody, almost everybody. I'd be fucking mad at Max Mofo. His videos use the money sound effect or all that stuff too. Like, you just don't get it. I was 100% correct that like the price of success causes you to fucking lose sight of what's important here. It really is. And whether or not I have criticisms for Pat or Card Party, I guess you'll never know. I have voiced opinions and things to Pat before. I do talk to Pat. I do talk to things like that. I'm not cool with every single thing that everybody does or any of that stuff too. And it's real funny that we're talking all about Rev and, how I blame him for everything. But like whenever I was sweeping for Rev, whenever people were calling him a scam artist and he was like, his mystery packs were weighed and all that stuff too, doesn't get brought up at all. It's perfectly fine. That the past, the past. But what you say about Rev now matters. Like nothing else that you did really means anything. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. I don't think Rev is the end-all, be-all, like, the worst thing that's ever happened here. Do I think Ryan is a detriment to this community? No, I don't. I think Ryan's going to be fine. You want to support Ryan. You want to support Rev. That's awesome. Do your stuff. Calling me a shill. Calling me all this stuff. The last thing that I think is really goofy, and this is the thing with Ryan for me, it's another transactional piece of something, is like he brings up that he supported my content really early, and he's the reason why, like, you know, like he turned me on to everybody. He got me in the loop. He was my inside, you know? And I probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere with it. He didn't say that specifically, but that's kind of the vibe I was getting from the whole thing, is like he really pushed me. I did give him that accolade whenever I was talking to Jay's Corner TCG, whenever I went on his podcast and I actually talked to him. I said that even though me and Ryan are not on good terms, I owe Ryan a good little bit for where I could be right this second, because he did support me. He did get me out there. Rev helped me out a little bit too and all that. Like, I gave them their positives. I gave them their accolades for the whole thing. But now Ryan's using that against me, as if me saying that like Rev's out of touch is too far. Like, once again, it feels transactional. It feels like one of those things where like it's being used against me, and I'm not allowed to voice how I feel about shit. Because Ryan stood up, they turned me beyond my content. He showed people my content. He showed people. Ryan is very emotional during this too, and it's one of those things where I don't really understand why he's so emotional, because that's one of the criticisms whenever people were levying criticism towards him, the Bastois thing. He called Bastois an emotional man, a very emotional man, and like real men don't give into their emotions. Ryan is giving into his emotions big time for this whole thing. I don't necessarily agree with what he says about that. People are people. People have emotions. People get passionate. And I get where Ryan's coming from defending Rev. You got a good friend there, Rev. I really will say that. And it's cool. I can relate in a lot of ways. If someone said something about some of my friends or my loved ones, I'd probably be in Ryan level of crash out too. I just find the transactional things that he says about Card Party very funny, while the things he likes about Collecticon are very transactional. They give me water. They pay people. They do this. They pay people for this whole thing. Fucking Card Party's just using all these creators to build stuff up, and everyone's just there sucking Pat's cock because they think they're going to get big subs. They think they're going to go places. They think they're going to pop off really big if they put Pat's penis in their mouth. That's what he said. And it's just like, okay, man. I thought it was about going and talking to the fans. I thought it was about, you know, popping in and saying hi to the people that were there. I thought that's why I wanted to go to Card Party. Well, I was really bummed that I couldn't go with everything that happened. And that's why I wanted to go. And hopefully I can actually go in October. And the people that reached out to me and said things and wished me well and wished Virginia well, that did mean a lot. That did put a lot of things as community perspective. And it was some people that didn't like me. It was some people that I was genuinely shocked actually cared about stuff. And people, you know, popped in and showed up. And the people that did, I really appreciate it. And the people that didn't, I would have did it for you. I would have popped in and gave some money and tried, and like I don't know. I think it's probably over for me and Ryan. And it's okay. I get it. Once again, I'm not gonna beat myself up, and I stand by what I said. Out of touch, the whole thing. It is what it is. It's crazy, but at the same time, you go watch the live if you want to watch. It's pretty funny. It actually made me laugh a good little bit. I just thought the whole transactional criticism was hilarious coming from Ryan, talking about the things he does, doing the things he does now, doing the breaks, doing the laboo-boos, doing all that stuff, talking about people being shills. And I mean, I already said it, but if anyone's a shill here, it's Ryan. I'm just going to say that about anything. I'm not getting paid by any of these motherfuckers. Pat's not paying me shit, so I guess we'll see. But like, I still got to buy all my product. I still got to like go to Walmart and fight people for little boxes of fucking Paradox Rift. Meanwhile, I know people are getting hookups and stuff like that because they know who they are talking to, and it is what it is. It be what it be. I'll claw my way up. I hit 35K. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody who sticks around and everyone who watches the content. I'm not going to make you choose, okay? You want to support me? You want to support Ryan? You want to support both of us or none of us? You want to support anybody you want? Go for it. No hard feelings. Leave whatever comments you want here. I appreciate it. Have a good one. I do wish Rev and Ryan success. I don't have ill will to their overall content. I said what I said, though. I calls it like I sees it. I keep the same energy for everyone. I do. That's why me and Ryan, we butt heads. We're two alike. It is what it is. Have a good one, Virgin Gang. See you later.